Good afternoon or good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Saturday, July 26th, 2025. And see if I can get my audio up here a bit more. See if that helps out a bit. I'm kind of sitting back and relaxing today in my easy chair. So, um, today, under just chatting and more of this isn't going to be anything as far as a religious debate or anything like that. As a matter of fact, this has absolutely nothing to do with the religion. This is actually, the question is, can your emotions, can your physical or your emotional well-being actually affect your health? And I've heard it before that, yeah, it can, like, maybe increase your blood pressure or do something like that. But I wanted to know if there was something more that it could do, something more that it could affect your health with. And right now I'm just loading up Skype. Anyone who's willing to join and wants to talk and share an experience, if you've gone through this, um, let me know. And I'm trying to stream on Facebook. I don't know. It's set to private uh, automatically. I'm using Rumble Studio. I'm really trying that out through OBS, and so I'm not sure if um, everything is working correctly. So just post some links here. And I'm almost finished. Sorry, guys. I started a little late. I hope everyone's keeping cool today. It's go ahead and share this with some groups here. See if we can get some listeners in. Let's do that. I'm almost finished here, guys. I don't mean to be. I don't know. See if the see if the Idaho Falls will. Okay, so anyway, back to the topic. I apologize for that. Anyway, so the question goes back to, can your emotions affect your health? And because I've been wondering, I've been having all these heart problems. It's, so my health initially about 9 years ago, it started out. I have Crohn's disease. I had really bad pain in my stomach. I also had really bad pain in my neck due to a bad, uh, how should I say, experience with a chiropractor. I was in a couple of auto accidents, and I didn't want him tweaking my neck, and he was moving kind of fast, and he tweaked my neck, and so I had a lot of pain there. Now, amazingly, that pain is gone, but I did have issues where sitting up was an issue. I'd get really dizzy. I couldn't do it for long periods of time. And then for, for a year or so, I couldn't get out of bed. Recently, I've been experiencing a lot of heart and chest pain. And I've been wondering, what is going on. There is some family history of heart attacks and stuff like that. And in September, I was diagnosed with atrial fibrillation and also cardiovascular vasospasm, which is just basically your veins. They're getting a nerve signal and they cause them to constrict, reducing the blood flow to your heart. And so I was just kind of thinking last night because a couple days ago, well, these past month and a half, I've spent all night in the ER. Excuse me, and I've been into the ER a lot because of all. I mean, the pain is incredible. It feels like a heart attack. Very weak, very dizzy. Um, and I'm just wondering, can my emotions cause this? Well, it actually turns out that the answer is yes. So I checked it out, and this is at Harvard, and there's something called broken heart syndrome. Now, I'm probably going to totally ruin this name here, but it's also called Takotsubo cardiomyopathy. It's named after that because Takotsubo is the first person that was diagnosed with this. It's also known as the broken heart syndrome, also known as stress cardiomyopathy. And now it can occur when a person experiences severe emotional or physical stress. Now, that's something that I have been going through. Physical stress, definitely, because of the pain. I've had multiple surgeries. I had a spinal cord stimulator implanted and taken out, two pain pumps implanted, and then finally they were taken out. The withdrawals were horrible. That was done last year, early last year. Um, and then also recently, my wife left me in October of 2021 when I was in a really bad situation. And I was deeply in love with her. Still care about her, still love her a lot. Um, but all of a sudden, in, I would say August of last year, I started getting these really bad heart and chest pains. I couldn't I couldn't even sit down in my workshop. I couldn't do my yard work. I really couldn't do anything. A lot of dizziness, a lot of just a lot of different issues that were going on. And so I'm wondering, is this related to it? And so I looked it up, and the answer is yes. And what I'm trying to do right now is I'm trying to get Skype Teams going, just in case anyone wants to chat. And because I have so much running on this computer, I've got to get a second computer set up to handle all the streaming stuff, so it doesn't take so long. But anyway, so let's look at the side effects. So it's first described in 1990 in Japan, and it's a weakening of the left ventricle. That's the heart's main pumping chamber. So a heart has 4 chambers, and we're talking about the lower left chamber. The condition is usually the result of severe, and this is from Harvard, guys, University. This condition is usually the result of severe emotional or physical stress, such as a sudden illness, the loss of a loved one, a serious accident, natural disaster, or earthquake. That's why the condition is also called stress-induced cardiomyopathy or broken heart syndrome. What are the symptoms? Classic heart attack symptoms: severe pressure, heaviness, or pain in the chest. Bingo, I get every single one of those. Most often arise from a blockage in a coronary artery that prevents blood from reaching the heart muscle. But in Takotsubo, cardiomyopathy can produce the same sudden heart symptoms even when the coronary arteries are clear. Mine are, and there's hardly any plaque at all in my arteries or heart or anything like that. Sometimes people with broken heart syndrome experience less dramatic chest pain. Instead, they may have shortness of breath, onset of marked fatigue, cold sweat, or lightheadedness. I had that too, almost common. What's interesting is that more than 90% of reported cases are in women ages 58 to 75. However, I'm a male, and this started probably, I'm 49 now, about to be 50. This started when I was probably about 48, maybe earlier. Research suggests that up to 5% of women suspected of having a heart attack actually have this disorder. Most people recover with no long-term damage. So obviously what happens is when you have when you have this thing going, when the blood vessels constrict, they reduce the blood flow to the heart, which will lead to a heart attack. And so it can be fatal. So let's look at what other diagnosis, what other people have to say about it. And this is just an AI overview. So doctors may prescribe medications like beta blockers or ACE inhibitors. I am actually on a calcium channel blocker. As far as a blood thinner, I have to take a baby aspirin every day when the onset, when it really happens, I take like 4 or 5 baby aspirins all at once. Symptoms include chest pain, shortness of breath, and fainting, which is similar to a heart attack. Boy, was I going through that a couple of nights ago. It says the condition is usually temporary. Most people recover within a few weeks with appropriate treatment. heart shape. The left ventricle may take on a distinctive shape, often described as a ballooning or an octopus trap, which is the name where the name originates. So a good image would be something like, oh, let's see, like this. This is actually the intro that I had. See if I can maximize this. Get a larger image of it to share with you. And if you want to talk, you can. And I'm going to, let's see if I can share a link here. Let me leave this really quick. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put this in the chat. So those of you who want to join in can all you gotta do is click on that link. I don't think you even need to have a Skype account. But I put that in the chat. And this isn't really helping out. This isn't what I want. I want open it in a new tab. So this is the normal. So you've got, these are the two bottom chambers. These are the two top chambers. This is how your left ventricle, which is again where they found problems in my heart, normally looks when it's healthy. This is what it looks like when you're going through the broken heart syndrome. Now, my symptoms include my pulse rate is always in the 40s, low 40s. Sometimes it can get into the high 30s, which is dangerous. My blood pressure has dropped down. It's always constantly in the 90s. It has dropped down into the 70s at times, which again is very dangerous. They and I'm just trying to see here. It should be showing everything, so but anyway, have any of you ever gone through this? So what I've gone through is I have, let's go back to here, and I've gone through a heck of a lot. I have, first of all, I started with those health problems. I ended up being house ridden for almost a decade. I feel like I'm in jail. Had to have caregivers. It had to have people help, bathe me at some points. Um, I lost my wife. She left me in a horrible situation. My heart's still pretty much broken over that. And a lot of other things have happened in my life, all leading up to this. I live in a state where I don't want to be. I'm trying to sell my house so I can move because I don't want to be here anymore. Because in the past, since 2003, all the things that I consider bad that have happened to me in this state. I have had conflicts with family members. And then in addition, my daughter was living with me for the past couple of years and she recently just moved out. So I'm happy for her. She got a really good job and a great place to live. But now I'm living all alone again. And so it's just me, my three cats, and I'm having all this pain. But there's no blockages in my arteries at all whatsoever. Whenever I go into the ER or go see, or the paramedics come and they take an EKG of my heart, everything's fine. When they take the blood test, occasionally they'll find heart proteins, which is a sign of a heart attack or the beginning of one, but most of the time everything is normal. But the pain is still there and the symptoms are still there. So I'm really wondering if it's a result of this Takotsubo broken heart syndrome, Takotsubo cardiomyopathy. So the question is, how do we how do we get out of this? How do I recover from this? And usually it happens in women, and I don't mean this to be sexist, but that's because women are usually more emotional, more susceptible to that. Um, how serious is it? It can be pretty darn serious. Like I said, it can lead to death because it causes symptoms of a heart attack, which is the reduced blood flow to the heart, which actually will then start killing off heart tissue if it's not treated properly. So this is a literal thing. We had it from Harvard. Let's take a look at the Mayo Clinic. Damage the hearts of people for a short time. An intense physical or emotional event often comes before broken heart syndrome. So what really started it in me, and I think anyway, where I can really remember it was when my pain pump was taken out, and when it was taken out, I didn't have any help going through with withdrawals. I was on a mixture of Dilaudid, which is more powerful than morphine or fentanyl, and also I was also had like a a numbing medication like lidocaine, only it was like 10 times stronger. And I had that medication going directly into the fluid in my spinal cord. Now, when I when they took the pain pump out, when there was no more medication, I had to go through those withdrawals, and it took me about a month to go through those withdrawals. And I have to tell you folks, honestly, it probably the most physically horrible experience that I've ever gone through. Ever gone through. I can't even begin to describe. I got overly emotional. I went through a lot of pain. I started reminiscing on the past, and it really triggered a lot of stuff. I wouldn't recommend anyone get a pain pump unless you're terminally ill, like you have cancer or something like that, and it's not going to be removed. Because there comes a point where your body, adjusts to the medication, and you can only reach a certain max anyway, and it's going to no longer be effective. But I think anyway, that's what started it. It started me with that physical trauma, and then also I brought back all these emotional responses. I had that recent divorce. Um, had an issue. I had a previous wife. Neither one of them were Christian. My children were taken away from me. One of my daughters had attempted suicide and uh, almost succeeded. Another daughter blocked me because she wanted my blessings to be a transgender, and I just something I couldn't do as a Christian. But that's when I started having all these heart issues. So what I'm planning on doing, I have a cardiologist appointment next month. I don't remember the date, but I'm going to ask him about this, and I'm going to ask him to look at the image of the heart to see if my left ventricle is in that shape. Now, how do we deal with this? How do we deal with this? This is something that is supposedly only short term, meaning temporary, that we can get out of it. But how? How do we get out of it? And I am thinking, as a Christian, excuse me, I'm pretty weak today. Um, I'm going to go ahead and pin these links that I put up. Come on. Okay, let's close that out. Let's go to Rumble here. Open link a new tab. I just want to go to Rumble. So I can pin the link there. Okay, let's go ahead and... Okay, so that's pinned. So basically, if you guys want to talk to me about this, you've gone through this experience, and you want to share what you what you think the cause is, and how to overcome it, or just share an experience. How was it for you? Come on in. Just try, I don't think you need an account. It can be anonymous. I'm not going to share your name or picture or anything like that. My camera is turned off, and we can just chat and have a conversation. You just join the chat room. There's a button where it says raise your hand. You go on stage, and we can talk this way. But as a Christian, so I've been thinking, okay, the Bible, Jesus promised that he leaves his peace, not as the world gives. And the Bible also talks about a peace that goes beyond all understanding. I think what's really required is you need a strong fellowship with the church. Unfortunately, where I live right now, which is one of the reasons why I'm trying to sell my house, is there isn't a church close by that I can really have a fellowship with. Secondly, I really need to start reading the Bible more, and I need to hold on to Jesus even tighter than I did before. There's a I am dropping everything today. There's a scripture in the Bible, and I've gone to it a few times before. I think this is important to bring up again, but let's go ahead and look at it. I think this will help. So in the Bible, I'm just dropping everything left and right. I believe it's in Philippians. Yeah, chapter 4, verse 8. So it says, finally, brethren, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are of good report, if there be any virtue, if there be any praise, think on these things. So it's reminding us to, instead of thinking on all the negatives that we're going through, of all the hard times, think on all things that are good. And what's the ultimate good? Who's the ultimate good? Well, that's the Lord Jesus Christ. So I think my plan of action is this. First of all, I only have a vehicle. One vehicle is gifted to me by my parents. Unfortunately, I can't use it because it's a Class C RV. It's a gas hog. It's too big to take anywhere. I can't just park it in a local parking spot. I need a handicap parking spot to go anywhere. So I'm trying to sell and or trade it for because it's in good shape, for another decent vehicle. I prefer a truck, but I'll take like an SUV or something. I want something 4-wheel drive, so I can start attending church again. Also, I do want to go through and sell this house. I want to move. I want to go to a different climate. There's a lot of stress here because of all the medical stuff, the medical procedures. This is a Mormon-dominated area, so I'm not accepted as part of the community. I'd like to go back to Arizona. Yes, I know it's hot as heck there, but get rid of the humidity. Right now, I'm at elevation that's over 5,000 feet. I'll be closer to sea level, and I want to make that move. But I think the first thing I really, really got to be serious about and I confess that I've been distracted by so many things, is I really got to get serious with my prayer time, reading the Bible, constantly thinking about God, getting listening to a lot of praise and worship, and just put that on my mind. Really do my best to try to forgive those that have hurt me. And that could be the answer, and that could be the healing right there. This could be something that I'm dealing with. So I'm just curious. The reason I'm streaming this is I'm curious. Has anyone else gone through one? I mean, intense physical or emotional event often comes before broken heart syndrome. Anything that causes strong emotional reaction may trigger the condition. Strong emotional reaction. Okay, so a sudden illness had that. Major surgery had that. No broken bones, but death of a loved one or other loss, the divorce. My children. Strong argument. Rarely, use of certain medicines or illegal drugs may lead to broken heart syndrome. Um, I'm not taking any illegal drugs. I have been on Xanax for 10 years because they thought I had seizures. They're stress seizures. Um, I know that when I'm going through an issue and I pop a Xanax, it helps relieve the symptom. A heart attack is generally caused by a complete or near complete blockage of a heart artery. In broken heart syndrome, the heart arteries are not blocked, but blood flow in the arteries may be reduced. So the risk factors: sex, it's more common in women than men, but men still get it. I'm a man. Age, most people who have it are older than 50. Well, I'm about to hit 50. Mental conditions, people who've had or have anxiety or depression may have a higher risk of broken heart syndrome. And the more I think about it, I am dealing with depression because of my health symptoms and everything else that I've gone through. Most who have it recover quickly and usually don't have long lasting effects, but sometimes symptoms come back. This is called recurrent. Rarely, it can cause death. Why? It causes complications, fluid in the lungs, low blood pressure, if that's what I have, irregular heartbeat, that's what I have, heart failure, that's what I get close to having. So, prevention. Um, Beta blockers actually didn't work for me. It was actually more harmful. So they put me on a calcium channel blocker. Chronic stress. I have a lot of stress going on in my life right now. So I've got to take those steps to manage the emotional stress, which is what I was talking about doing with, really, really getting serious with Jesus again. I mean, I've been serious, but I've got to draw closer. I've always said when the times get rough, you just got to cling on to Jesus even harder. Um, get more exercise. I've been trying to walk more. Practice mindfulness. I think that goes along with what I was talking about, getting close to Jesus. Connect with others in support groups. There aren't any support groups around here. Um, Now, I have had enough results, blood tests, EKGs, and ECGs. I've had a coronary angiogram. Um, I've had an echocardiogram, and I've had a cardiac MRI. I've had all this stuff, which shows that my heart itself is in good condition, and so my arteries, but I'm still having these stuff. So there's no standard treatment. Um, Most people stay in the hospital while they get better. Many people with broken heart syndrome are fully recovered within a month or so. Um, Medications. So, blood thinners. You know, I'm on an ACE inhibitor, calcium blocker, blood thinners. It's very hard for me to do that because I have Crohn's disease, which I can bleed internally, but I do take a baby aspirin every day. And then there are surgical treatments. Um, they aren't really helpful in treating broken heart syndrome, but there are, electrical signals are sent across your heart. Sometimes if you do like a scarring, um, across your heart, it'll disrupt certain electrical signals that are going into your heart, and that can kind of get that under control, at least the atrial fibrillation. So I'm going to talk to my cardiologist about this. I don't like self-diagnosing. I don't like doing that, but at the same time, I need an answer as to why I'm having these symptoms. So my question is there anyone else out there who's gone through this? Who, that can share with me? Are there support groups? Um, I'd really appreciate it if, we could share this with other people. If someone would share this, if you know of support groups. But what do you think? What's your opinion? What do you think is going on here? I would definitely like some feedback on it. Unfortunately, I'm not getting too many views here. I think I've got, yeah, just people keep popping in and out. This isn't the most exciting chat, but it's a real thing. I'm feeling the pain now a little bit just because I'm thinking about it. But it's a real medical condition. So this is something that I need to bring up with my cardiologist. I'm sick of going to the hospital. I'm sick of having IVs stuck in me. I'm sick of all the medication that I'm on. I'm sick of not really being able to get out of my house, being tired and lightheaded and dizzy all the time. Um, or when I'm not, running out of energy extremely quickly. I am lonely. I would like to have a partner in my life. But I think I really need to focus on Jesus. So, since there's really not really any people who are watching this stream right now, I hope that someone watches later and that they'll comment on this. Give me some tips, give me some suggestions. Let me know what you think. And go from there. I mean, I even have an implant right now just underneath my heart that constantly monitors it as an EKG. But I think I know what it is, so I got to write all this stuff down when I see my cardiologist, and I think that's the issue. And so we got to figure out a way to do it. I mentioned a hospital stay. I know I need to get off the Xanax. The doctor put me on it 10 years ago because he thought I was having seizures. And there are no neurologists in my area will take patients like me who only have Medicare and Medicaid. So I haven't been able to see a neurologist. I do have intracranial hypertension, which is damaging my vision. I do have glaucoma, the beginnings of it just starting out. Really bad cataracts. Do have the Crohn's. I try to be as active as I can, drink as much fluid as I can. But I don't know. So when I find out some more information, I'll let you guys know. But I really think what I have is broken heart syndrome. And ultimately, when my ex-wife left in October of 2021, that's what did it to me. That was the main beginning. And then when the pain pump was out and I had to go cold turkey off of Dilaudid and that other medication that I was on for years, it just broke my mind. It broke my brain, and this is the result. It's the only thing that makes sense to me. So I'm going to do what the Bible says in Proverbs chapter 3, verses 5 and 6, which is trust in the Lord with all your heart, lean not into your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your paths. So that's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping that's simply what the cause is. And go on from there. Hopefully this is something that can be fixed. It would be really nice if it could be. So anyway, I guess that's all I have to say today, since I'm not really getting any active participation. I should go back to more controversial subjects, maybe do some video reactions. Tom McDonald just released a video, which I'm not going to do a reaction on. It's white boy stuff. That's not Christian. I think I'm going to get back and finish up the study in Galatians, which I've only done up to chapter 1, part of chapter 1. I'm going to continue on with that. Start spending a lot more time in prayer, start spending a lot more time reading the Bible. Hopefully I can sell this house. More importantly, hopefully I can trade in that RV or sell it so I can get a reliable vehicle so that I can start going to church and get active in church events. And yeah, I would definitely like to move out of this area. So for those of you who may watch this later, please, I'm begging you, please share this. Please like it. Please follow or subscribe. But most importantly, please leave a comment. What are your thoughts on the issue? What are your thoughts on the issue? And suggestions. I'm going to do some more stuff on Mormonism. I have a few things in mind. But I need to get out of this depression. I don't want to get on any medications like SSRIs. I've tried them before normally, and now I'm having allergic reactions to them, but they're also very addictive. I don't want to get on addictive substances. And it's situational. And if this can heal by getting my mind off the depression and focus on joy instead of anything else, then who knows? But right now, my situation is when all this stuff happens, the closest hospital that can deal with heart attacks is a 45-minute drive away. So even medically right now, situationally, and where all my specialists are at, they're all 45 minutes away from where I live. So I really do need to move. So I do have a lot of stress from that, but I need to stop thinking about that. I need to start making a positive list of positive things that are going on in my life. And I don't know. Let's just see. I do notice that my subscriber count has gone up on YouTube to 221 subscribers. I want to really thank you for doing that. I never imagined that I'd have that many. I know I'm still a small time YouTuber, but thank you to every single one of you that subscribed. Thank you to all of you that leave comments, likes, all of that type of stuff. I really appreciate you. And I do thank God that I have this option to have access to the internet and the ability to do this. So I'm a little disappointed. I was wishing there was more people that would join in, but maybe I'll do a late night stream tonight. I am feeling tired. It's 6 o'clock at night. I think I'm gonna go lay down, take a little nap, and when I get up, I'll do another late night stream and just see what happens. You never know. So all right, I'm gonna sign out. I'm not gonna do my outro because this isn't like a teaching lesson or anything. This is just basically discussion. But I don't know. I want to thank you guys, and I guess I am gonna do the outro just so I know when to end the live stream. So God bless you all. For those of you who know Him, who are with Him, and may you find peace in the Lord Jesus Christ if you don't know Him. All right, with that being said, I'm going to go with the outro and I'm going to go ahead and end the stream. Take care. I'll be back later as the Lord wills.